Man versus gun.
Hello shooters, this man versus gun is about the SKS rifle. Here's a picture of an SKS rifle. As you can see, it's got the wooden stock, traditional type wooden stock. Mine doesn't look like that, but just to give a short lineage, the SKS was developed by the Russians right at the closing months of World War II, and then it served around the world in various, you can still find it today in the hot spots of the world. In the 50s, the Russians took some engineers and some tooling to China and helped them set up a SKS line. And in China, it's called the Type 56. In Russia, it's the SKS. In China, it's a Type 56. Then in America, if you take your typical as-issued SKS and you take the wooden stock off of it and you put a Tapco stock on it, like I've done, a lot of people say that's he bubba'd his SKS, or he bubbified his SKS. So these short little segments next will kind of explain the lineage of my SKS. Hope you enjoy it. Samozajarny karabin Simenova. Sure, sure. Bubbified by TI. Hello shooters, welcome to the next installment of Man vs. Gun. This is the SKS carbine. Now obviously this is not a stock SKS carbine. I have done, I did these things for reasons, and you'll see as we go talk about the ergonomics. Hopefully I'll be able to get a hold of a real SKS, an original SKS, and do the whole spiel on that too, because I think that would be helpful as a reference. We're going to start the butt stock and work our way forward just like always. This butt stock is basically, it's an M4 butt stock. Okay, so it has the exact same ergos and lack of ergos as a OEM M4 butt stock. It is angled, it is checkered. Those are both good things. It doesn't have a superior cheek weld, so it is what it is. It is adjustable, which is a good thing. So the design of the butt stock is pretty good. It'd be better if it had a little bit, better cheek weld, but it doesn't. But the butt stock works pretty well. Length of pull is nice and short. Because of the adjustable butt stock, you can make it pretty much whatever you want. And that's a good thing that it's short. Short's better than long by a long ways. Trigger pull on the SKS. It's kind of long. Kind of long, kind of mushy. Nothing to write home about. Okay, the trigger pull is nothing to write home about. It is there's worse out there, but there's a whole lot better out there too. You'll notice during the shooting portion of the video, when I'm doing the 10 rounds at 5 yards, one of the times I don't let it out all the way for reset, and I milk the trigger, and you'll be able to see that in the video. And that's just an idiosyncrasy of the SKS. They don't have the best triggers on the market. But it still works. We work around it. Pistol grip. This has a good pistol grip. Not the best, but it's not little and skinny like the OEM M4 or the OEM AK. This is what they call the saw grip, and it's better than the M4 or the AKM. So it's satisfactory. Magazine well. Now this is a Tapco stock, so the magazine well is pretty generous. It's not flared, but this is it's not really meant to be like a magazine well, but it is in this instance. But the magazine is not placed properly because it's way forward. It'd be better if the magazine were placed back here near the pistol grip, but it's, as you can see, it's not. It's quite a ways away from the pistol grip. Magazine. This is a Tapco magazine. This is the only magazine that I really trust with the SKS. These have been totally reliable for me. I would not halo into Afghanistan with this magazine though. Okay, it works fine for home defense. It works fine for the application that I have this SKS for. but there's no steel in it whatsoever, and I don't think it would survive extremely hard use. Okay, magazine release is in a poor spot. And it operates poorly also. From what I mean by that is you have to pull back on it. You have to pull back on it to get the magazine out. So it's bass backwards from what it ought to be. It ought to be like the AK or the FN, you know, or flapper types where you push forward towards the mag, but you can't. You have to pull back. So the magazine release is you know, inferior. But the good news is it's inferior to both hands. Okay, since it's down here and it's kind of like a flapper, it's equally sucky for both hands. It doesn't give an advantage right-handed over left-handed. And you know, mirror image is what we're after. So I'd rather have mirror image sucky than have to learn a different manual of arms for right hand or left hand. Okay, the safety. I have installed a Chinese ambi mirror image safety on this SKS. On most SKSs, it's only on the right side. I think the selector's in a great spot. And this ambi safety works really, really well because it's exactly mirror image on both sides. You flick it down to fire, and you put it up to safe. I like it. Good. The ambi SKS safety is good. It's excellent, actually. Okay, charging handle. Charging handle is in a perfect spot for left-handed people. They can operate it right like that. Oh, right-handed people, they got to do like the AK. They got to come over the bottom or over the top. The design, I like the design of the charging handle much better on the AK. The AK's got that hook, and it can, after you know doing a lot of manipulations, you know, it can tear your fingers up. This SKS is rounded. It's round. It's got these, you know, there's a design on there that gives you some purchase. I don't know what to call it. But the design, so the design of the charging handle is great, but it's for mainly for left-handed use. Right-handers have to do a workaround. The bolt catch. This does have a bolt catch, and that's cool. I like bolt catches. The bolt locks open on an empty magazine. It's really difficult to actuate on by yourself, though, to lock it open. To lock the bolt open by yourself, you have to take the magazine out and push a little thing up in there with your finger. You can't do it when there's a magazine in there. So it works really well for speed loads. It's not so good if you have to lock it back by yourself. Okay, this ejects brass forward at about the 2 o'clock position, and it ejects it pretty far, and that's good. It's not going to get in the face, so it's good ejection. It's good positive ejection. You can shoot it right-handed or left-handed, and you never got to worry about brass coming anywhere near your face when you're shooting left-handed. What else have we got here? Okay, the rear sight. It's a typical like AK, or you know, bolt action World War II era sight. It's like a handgun sight. You can slide it up for elevation there. The front sight, I don't know if you can see it. I've got a yellow insert. It's a yellow plastic front sight. You know what? I put it on there as kind of a, well, let's see how this works. I like it. It's got good protection, the front sight does. And this when I was doing the 1 to 5 drill, where I'm at 5 yards and I got 5 targets out there, 1 meter apart, and they're 5 meters from me. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, blah, blah. These the AK sights and these SKS sights, they work really well up close on fast moving targets like that, and fast targets up close. It's more like a handgun. I found it to be easier than with the M4, where it has the peep rear sight. You know, it's darker, that peep rear sight is. This is nice and open, and it's great for close range targets. I like the sight system. There is no protection for the rear sight. That's inferior, but for close range and working targets up close, these sights work just fine. The front handguard, this is a Tapco stock. There is no heat protection in this thing whatsoever. The 20 round mag and the fact that it's not the fastest mag change in the world will help you keep the rate of fire down to where this won't burn your hand. It is short. I wish that the handguard went out there a little bit farther, but it doesn't. So and there is zero muzzle device on this, which is a shortcoming. It is a 16-inch barrel, which I prefer for a 7.62 39 round. I chose this firearm to make this way. It came with a wooden stock. I ditched the wooden stock. I put the Tapco stock on here because it gives you a shorter length of pull. It is a checkered stock. The OEM is a slick metal stock, just like the OEM AK. Most SKSs come with a 20-inch barrel. I wanted a 16-inch barrel. My personal opinion is that a 20-inch barrel on a 7.62 39 cartridge is a total waste of time. You have no advantage. So I like the shorter barrel. It brings the center of gravity back here closer to the shooter, allows for faster shots. But I really want to get a hold of a 20-inch wood stock SKS just to see on the timer what the difference really is. But that's what it is here with the SKS. It's not optics compatible. There's no good way to put an optic that I'm aware of on an SKS. I know that you can buy a different top cover, but then that totally screws with everything. You can't use your iron sights very well. I haven't seen any good option for adding optics to an SKS. This SKS does allow for a sling. It has a sling swivel up here and one on the butt stock, so it does have a rudimentary way to attach a sling to it. What I found on the range, and you'll see in the videos, Type 3 malfunctions suck with the SKS. They suck with everything, but they suck particularly with the SKS. Anytime you got to do a mag change, the SKS really falls on its face because it's clumsy to do a mag change. You have to pull back on this bad boy, and then you got this great, they call that a duck bill. You got to get that up in there. It's not the best thing to change mags. The original SKS didn't plan on having Tapco mags, but I put this on there because it suits my purposes better than a regular SKS does. So anyhow, I'm done yakking. Go ahead and the shooting portion of the video is next. Then head on over to my blog, and you'll see the score, the times for all the drills, and you'll be able to compare that with the rifles that have shot so far on those drills. And I also have a spreadsheet that goes over the ergos and scores these things. So I appreciate all the likes and the shares. If you like what I do, please subscribe, share, and I enjoy the comments. Ask any questions below if you have any. So we'll have the shooting next and maybe some bloopers if I can come up with some. And hope you have a good day.
Okay, here we're doing the 25 meter headshots. The SKS with the selector where it's at makes it pretty easy work to do this, whether it's left or right, because I have the ambi safety on there. Here's left side snap body shots. Pretty lively. I like the way it handles. And where the SKS kind of falls on its face is with the magazine system, and it was never really meant to be used this way with these type of magazines. I'm forcing it into a role that it was never meant to be. But it still does pretty dang well. You know, when you look at the times, it's, you know, right there with doing a regular AK. We'll have to see how a regular SKS does with the stripper clips and things like that when I can get a hold of one and test it. But it did okay. Right here we're doing Type 1 malfunction clearance drills. I like the charging handle, the way it's shaped on the SKS better than the AK. But it's mainly set up for left-hander. You got to come up over the top or or on the bottom. Malfunction clearance drills are sucky, just like everything else in the prone position. Doable. Takes a long time though. Here's right hand, and here's another right hand. The way to get the magazine out kind of sucks. And then trying to fit that duck bill in, you got to practice at it, or it's really easy to flub that up. Left-handed. It's easier to work left-handed, just like the AK was, because the way the bolt handle's situated. if the magazine system was a little better, it'd be even faster. Here's another left-handed one. See, if I never had to take my hand off the pistol grip back there, it would be even better. But you know, that's just the way the SKS is. That's just the way it works. So it's something you just got to work around. Here's a shooter view of a left-handed Type 3. See, I actually have to use my firing hand to get up there and release the magazine and get it to work there. Here's the 10 rounds at 5 yards, and you'll notice I milked the trigger right there after shot number 4. That's just an idiosyncrasy of the gun. It's got a long reset, and you just got to remember to let it off all the way. And here's the 1 to 5. Because of the short barrel, the 16-inch barrel, and the really open sights, it's fast and lively. It's a light gun. It's balanced well. It works really well on a drill like this, as you can see by the times. Scores are all good too on this. All in all, I like this 16-inch pair with the Tapco Stock. It works for what I need.